In the heart of the emerald woods, where the moss is as soft as a pillow, lived a beautiful bear named Alara and her daughter Bramble. The morning sun painted golden stripes across the forest floor, and the air smelled of pine and sweet dew. "It is a perfect day for a treasure hunt," Alara said with a gentle nudge. They weren't looking for gold or jewels, but for the dark, glistening berries that grew in the secret corners of the woods. They soon reached the great bramble patch. It was a mountain of green leaves and twisting vines, heavy with blackberries that looked like tiny clusters of midnight. Bramble's eyes widened. She could almost taste the sweetness on her tongue. While Alara began to pick the berries near the edge, Bramble spotted a cluster deep, deep inside the bush. They were the biggest, juiciest berries she had ever seen. Bramble didn't want to wait. She didn't want the easy berries. She wanted the best ones. Without a second thought, she lunged into the heart of the bush. "Wait, little one," Alara called out, but it was too late. Bramble's fuzzy shoulders pushed through the leaves, her head disappearing into the tangled shadows of the vines. She reached out her paw, her claws just inches away from the prize. Suddenly, Bramble felt a sharp tug. Then another. When she tried to pull back, a long, thorny vine caught the fur on her ear. When she tried to turn, another vine wrapped around her belly. She was stuck. The more she wiggled, the more the thorns took hold. The best berries were still just out of reach, and now the world felt very small and very sharp. Frustration boiled up inside Bramble like a hot summer storm. She let out a loud, angry growl and began to thrash her paws. "I hate these vines," she cried, kicking at the dirt, but her temper only made things worse. The vines tightened, pulling her fur until it nipped at her skin. She went from angry to sad, and big, salty tears began to roll down her fuzzy cheeks. Alara didn't rush in to pull Bramble out. She knew that rushing would only lead to more scratches. Instead, she sat down just outside the bush, her presence calm and steady. She began to hum a low, soothing song, the kind of song the wind sings to the trees. She waited for the storm in Bramble's heart to pass, watching her daughter with eyes full of love. "I'm stuck, Mama," Bramble sobbed, her voice muffled by the leaves. Alara leaned closer, her nose almost touching Bramble's. "I see you, little one," Alara said softly. "But before we fix the vines, we must fix the breath. Close your eyes, pretend you are smelling a beautiful clover flower, and now blow out a birthday candle." Together, they took 3 long, slow breaths until Bramble's heart stopped racing. Once Bramble was still, Alara spoke with a voice like velvet. "When the world feels too thorny, little one, rushing only makes the knots tighter. We must be as slow as the melting snow." Alara reached out a single, careful paw. She didn't yank or pull. Instead, she used one claw to gently lift a single vine away from Bramble's ear, moving with the patience of the turning tide. Bramble watched as her mother worked. She learned that if she stayed very still, the thorns weren't so scary. One by one, the vines were lifted and moved aside. Finally, with one last gentle nudge from Alara, Bramble backed out of the bush. She was a little bit messy, and her fur was standing up in funny directions, but she was free. She looked at the bush, then at her mother, feeling a new kind of strength. They sat together under the shade of an old oak tree, sharing the sweet berries. Bramble realized that the berries tasted even better because she had learned how to be patient to get them. "The woods are beautiful, Mama," Bramble whispered, leaning her head against Alara's shoulder. Alara hugged her close, knowing that her little bear had discovered the secret, that even the thorniest tangles can be undone with a steady breath and a gentle heart.